Welcome to Pour the Wine. It's Rom-Com Time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Garry.
And you're...
pouring.
Some Chardonnay. It's still so stinking hot. It's been like 100 degrees every day.
Yes, it has been.
Kind of getting over it.
I know.
But I
I'm
know
ready
I'll
for
miss
fall.
it when it's, 20 degrees. But right now, it's been a lot.
I know. I thought it was Christmas in July. Isn't it supposed to be cooler? No, just kidding.
Hardy her. Well, we would love it if you would click that follow button on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss an episode. And if you listen on Apple or Spotify, we would really appreciate it. If you have some extra time, some free time, and leave us a review, let us know how we're doing.
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Yes. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and Threads.
All the socials. Or you can even drop us a line at pourthewine@gmail.com.
Yes.
Shoot us an email and let us know your thoughts about anything that's going on Hallmark right now.
Yeah.
We're in Christmas in July, so anything Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be reviewing a Signed, Sealed, Delivered movie, so maybe you have thoughts about the Signed, Sealed, Delivered canon that you'd like to share?
Yes, please do.
Please do.
Yes. And speaking about the Signed, Sealed, Delivered canon, we've been working our way through the Signed, Sealed, Delivered canon. And
Yes, we have. Today,
we're reviewing The Impossible Dream that first aired on October 4th, 2014.
wow,
So,
11 years ago. Well, almost 11 years ago, right?
yeah, and I still can't believe I didn't watch this back then.
I know, we sure did not, but we're doing it now.
Yep. So tell us, who is in this one?
Well, our returning favorites, the Postables. So what we're going to do is I'll talk about the cast that's in this one. Ooh.
Excuse you.
Oh, frog in my throat again.
This one tearing you up?
It's tearing me up already.
We haven't even started.
We've mentioned the four Postables before. We've talked about their work in previous episodes. So if you'd like to hear more about them, you can go to the Moon and Back, right? Or For Christmas. I think we cover each of them in those. So, but we didn't want to make it too long and repeat them, so we don't.
Yes.
So returning are Eric Mabius. He plays Oliver O'Toole, of course. Kristen Booth plays Shane McInerney.
That one's a little bit hard for you. Sorry, I was taking a sip of.
You almost spit out your wine when I said that.
You always have a problem.
Sometimes I do wish we have video because it is kind of funny. You literally almost spit out your wine. All right. Anywho, I know that last name
gets you every time.
Gets me every time.
Yeah.
Crystal Lowe plays Rita Hayworth. Jeff Gustafson plays Norman. Also returning this episode is Zach Santiago as Ramon Rodriguez. And from Truth Be Told, this is a continuation of Truth Be Told, which we did not know when we first started watching it.
Didn't.
Megan Carpenter plays Phoebe Amadon, and William B. Davis plays Harper. And it's Phoebe's mom who is MIA, missing, right, in Afghanistan and presumed dead.
Yep.
They feel confident that she did not survive, right? And Harper is the lieutenant's father.
Right.
So Megan's the daughter and Harper's the father. Also in The Impossible Dream is Mark Bally. He plays Steve Merrick. His other Hallmark work includes Signed, Sealed, Delivered, Higher Ground in 2017, which I think we're a few movies away from in the canon. The Emma Fielding Mysteries, More Bitter Than Death in 2019. And some of his other work includes Brideheart, which was just out this year in 2025. One episode of The Flash in 2018. He was in 7 episodes of Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce.
Wow.
Between 2015 and 2017. The series Harry's Law, 22 episodes. Between 2011 and 2012. 12 episodes of Fringe. Which we like, between 2008 and 2009. And he's largely known for playing Jack Durow for 338 episodes in Days of Our Lives between 1994 and 1997.
Oh, a lot of these guys and gals came from soap operas.
Tammy Gillis plays Randy Lynn Amadon. She is the lieutenant who is missing, currently missing. She's done a ton of Hallmark work, including the prequel to this, Truth Be Told, in 2015. Curious Caterer, Forbidden Fruit in 2024.
Right.
2 episodes of Chesapeake Shores in 2022. Poisoned in Paradise, a Martha's Vineyard mystery in 2021. and Marrying Mr. Darcy in 2018.
Aw.
Some of her other work includes Murder in a Small Town for an episode in 2024. She was in the TV series Siren for 16 episodes between 2018 and 2020. The movie Once Upon a Time in 2016, and Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce in 2014. I believe just an episode there.
Cool.
Christina Bianco plays Mindy. She is one of Rita's fellow contestants in the Miss Special Delivery pageant. This is her Hallmark premiere. She has 10 acting credits, including one episode of Annoyingly Fit Neighbor in 2021.
Okay.
I like that title. The podcast series, The Ballad of Anne and Mary, between 2021 and 2024, and she voiced the role of Anne. And she was also in a series called Impress Me for 9 episodes in 2015.
Okay.
Karen Conoval plays the chairwoman. Her other Hallmark work includes 3 episodes of When Calls the Heart between 2015 and 2023, The Christmas Secret, and Garage Sale Mystery, All That Glitters in 2014.
Oh, wow.
Some of her other work in her nearly 150 acting credits includes, I know, goes way back, Wild Card, 6 episodes in 2024 and 2025, the TV series Snowpiercer, which I'd never heard of. She was in 30 episodes of that between 2020 and 2024. The Good Doctor.
Aww.
She was in 13 episodes between 2018 and 2020.
I remember her in that.
She was in, that's right. That's what we recognize her from. The Planet of the Apes movies. Rise of the Planet of the Apes in 2011. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes in 2014. War for Planet of the Apes and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And she was in 3 episodes of 21 Jump Street.
Oh.
Between 1987
and
and 1991. You do?
I think so. If I saw
That's
the character.
good memory there.
Yeah.
Fred Henderson plays the senator from Illinois, and these 2 last actors that I mentioned, they're part of the committee, right, in Congress.
The Congressional Committee. Yeah.
Hallmark fans will definitely recognize him. He's done a ton of Hallmark work. He was in several each year, going back to like 2018 or so. He had like 2 or 3 each year.
Right.
From 2018. He was in Christmas on Cherry Lane, Mystery on Mistletoe Lane, and Fourth Down in Love in 2023. He was in 1 episode of Chesapeake Shores and the movie Campfire Christmas in 2022. Some of his other 156 acting credits include, which we will not go over all of them, Superman and Lois, 2 episodes between 2021 and 24. He was in 3 episodes of Riverdale between 2019 and 2021. And he was in Final Destination 2 in 2003. And that another one of those just dropped this year, right?
Yes,
just relatively recently. Yeah. I think Crystal Lowe was in it.
Oh,
she was in the latest.
That's right.
I don't know if it's 4 or 5.
I don't know. There was a lot.
He, too, was in 1 episode of 21 Jump Street in 1990.
Man.
Going all the way back.
Wow. It's amazing these characters are in some of the same, or actors in some of the same shows. So, is it time to drop the synopsis?
It is time to drop the synopsis.
Okay, the DLO Postals give testimony before a closed congressional committee regarding an American soldier missing in action and presumed dead, whose daughter they met previously. At the same time, Rita participates in the National Miss Special Delivery pageant.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum. And we have a spoiler alert. Now, to be fair, it is almost 11 years old. So I feel like we are going to talk about this movie. So if you have not seen it, push pause on our podcast, go watch it, and then come back, because there will be spoilers in this episode.
Yes,
we can't help it. We can't help it. But like I said, I mean, it's 11 years old.
11 years old.
Almost 11 years. So we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right. So, I don't know here.
Ooh, so I think it's fair to say that we would love to go scene by scene by scene by scene and talk about everything. There is so much in each movie. There are so many nuances.
Yes.
So many details that we could go into. And I mean, we would be talking for like 3 hours.
I know.
So we try to stick to, just a few things. We talk about our first impressions, our favorite scenes.
Yes, our cheers and jeers.
Our cheers and our jeers. And just know that if we leave something out, it's not because we don't think it's important. It's that because there's so much. And if we could, we would talk about everything.
Yes.
I mean, I think I have like 10 pages of notes on this
know,
particular movie, and I never have that many
Yes.
on anything outside of the signed sealed delivery.
Yes.
You know, we do other movies, other Hallmark movies,
And TV
and
series.
TV series. And my notes are really extensive on these.
Yes,
so,
they
but we
are.
can't possibly cover it all. So that's just a little, that's a disclaimer.
There you go. So,
Before we start.
what do you think? What was your first take on this one? Oh, my goodness. Take a deep breath. While you're doing that, I'm going to take a sip.
Are you going to take a sip? How about if I take a sip?
You take a
first?
sip first because, man, there's a lot to go on this one.
All right. So, my first impression. I've mentioned before how each movie brilliantly navigates the parallels between the Lost Letter story
Right.
and the lives of the Postables, right? So, usually there's just a lot going on. So, in this movie, the weaving of the story was fantastic, except this time we don't have the letter initially.
Right.
We have, we don't know it yet. We have it, like halfway through? I don't even know maybe mid to maybe midway through.
Right. They discuss.
Don't quote me. Don't come at me. I can't remember exactly when it came in, but it's not at the beginning like we normally see these movies, right? So this story is navigating between the present day and a few days prior in both the United States and Afghanistan.
Right.
So there's a lot going on. And even with the slight, change of the way the story is delivered, all the signature signed, sealed, delivered elements are there, right? So we have the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
We have the dead letter eventually show up. The Postables are investigating. But in the meantime, we get that peek into their personal lives and relationships.
Yeah.
So I think it's so good. I mean, and you and I talked about this. We did not know it was going to be a continuation of Truth Be Told.
Yep.
And I'd be curious at the time when they released it. I can't remember. I think Truth Be Told maybe aired about a month before this one. I'd have to look at the dates. I'm not 100% certain about that. But wait a minute.
What?
I just realized I made a mistake.
You made a mistake?
The Impossible Dream actually aired in 2015.
Oh.
So I was saying, I've been saying 2014 and 11 years. So it was October 4th of 2015.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
No
That
worries.
is completely my mistake. So it aired almost 10 years ago.
Right.
And Truth Be Told aired, I believe, about a month before it. Same year, 2015.
Right.
Not to be confused.
That's okay.
Hey,
the Postables would have corrected us. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry.
That's a good catch.
No. So we're talking about 2015.
Yes.
Anyway, so as I mentioned, the storytelling was a little bit different just because they didn't start, with the letter.
Right.
But I loved it. I loved the congressional committee hearing and how each one of the core four had a section to talk about.
Yes.
How they went, Oliver to Shane to Rita to Norman.
Yes.
And Steve piped in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I really loved that. I loved that we got to see Steve.
Yep.
He's the birthday card sender from Truth Be Told.
Yep.
Right. And they kind of put that to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they wrap things up. There's no that we know.
Right,
I mean, we know he's going to be in another one coming up, which I just talked about. But at least we know, at least they kind of wrap that up a little bit. So I like that. Then, of course, you have the mystery of whether, Lieutenant, is it Amadon? Randy Lynn is still alive. And then the clue she gives to her possible rescue, all of that was so well done. And, you and I, we live in a military town.
Yep.
We live in an area, you've lived here your whole life. I've lived here, for over 25 years. So we've known many, many, many who have served. We've known people who are serving, and we know people who have lost loved ones, especially in the war in Afghanistan.
Yes.
So this really hit close to home for us. Yeah, and there's similarities between, some people that we know and their loved ones and how they did not survive. And it's just a little, it was very emotional. So that was my first take. What about you?
Whew, that was a big first take.
Sorry. I know this, like I said, this would be like an hour long.
I know. I don't even know where to begin because there were so many things going on throughout this movie.
Right.
But yet the director and the writer wove this thing perfectly together, man.
They did.
I mean,
they did.
I mean, you talk about being at the right place at the right time, because there's a lot of like symbolisms in here.
Yes.
It's funny how all the characters ended up at the hotel in DC right around the same time.
So you're talking about the Postables and
Yes, Steve.
Harper.
Well, Steve was already there.
invited. Well, he
Right.
Shane reached
called
out to
him, right.
him, right? So he ends up there.
But yeah,
Harper and Phoebe, the
Yeah.
grandpa and and his granddaughter,
and his granddaughter.
his daughter is the one who's missing, right?
Right. And I just feel like,
Well, Oliver says there are no coincidences.
right, exactly. But just think about the different stories that were going on. You had Randy Lynn missing. You had Shane and Steve's thing going on. You had Shane and Oliver. You had Rita in the pageant, Rita and Norman. And then you had the committee. So there was a lot of things going on at once.
There were.
And man, I really, really enjoyed this thing. So that's where I'm at.
That's where you're at. I know it's a lot to talk about. There are so many things going on, and we'll probably get into it a little bit when we get into like favorite scenes and all that jazz. But there's so many things to talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I also want to talk about The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Yes, the symbolism of the Rock.
Yes.
Now, or you want to hold off? Is that like a scene? Is that a cheer? Is that where is that for you?
We'll talk about it when it actually shows up when it shows up. I think it shows up like 4 times.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you can. All right. Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll try to remember.
All right. Let's dive. You want to dive into favorite scenes?
Yes. Go. Tell us.
I would start out of the gate towards the beginning. It's not the very opening scene, but when the Postables are walking down the halls of Congress and they're playing Signed, Sealed, Delivered. I just love the slow-mo of that. I loved that. The 4 of them span the hallway. It was just so cool. So that was one of my favorite scenes, just that bit.
But what was funny is Norman walks into there's a flagpole and Norman walks into it. So they're all serious and cool and it's slow-mo. And he walks into it and he's like, whoa, wait a minute. Where'd you come from, flag?
So it was just a great way to start with them. Of course, it starts off more serious in Afghanistan. So
that was one of my favorites. When they were going to the subcommittee meeting.
Do you want me to do a couple or how do you want to
do a couple? Yeah.
The next one would be, you find out they're sitting in front of Congress, right, for a committee meeting. But then in one of the flashbacks in the DLO, it's Oliver and Shane, and Oliver has his color-coded folders for each person for their schedule. And it's just so him, because of course he does, right? Yes. So he shows them to Shane, and he kind of, is kind of like, hey, maybe, he asked her about her is there a boyfriend that you want to meet up with, or something. So then he talks about how they're going to go to the Postal Museum, and then she asks if she can add a stop in, and he's kind of like, I've already done the schedule. Right. He kind of is a little bit shocked. And then Norman comes in with the shades on and they're ready to go to DC. And I just thought that whole scene worked. I loved that scene.
Yeah, that was a really good scene. I had that down too.
Did you really for one of your?
So that's
so
we had the same.
We like it.
Yeah.
What about you?
One of mine was the first scene with Randy Lynn when she being captured.
The lieutenant, right?
The lieutenant. She apparently is going to give birth, or not her. She's going to help give birth to Assad's daughters.
Help the daughter
right.
give. He said, "Help give birth."
Well,
your words. Too much wine. Drink some more wine.
I know, right?
Right.
And I'm assuming they're in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And their daughter has been in labor for 15 hours, and this is the first scene where we see the rock. So she picks up a rock and she gives it to the daughter. And Assad looks at her because
is that his name, Assad?
I think it's Assad.
Okay. Yeah, and I missed that. No.
Assad looks at her and she's like, well, this is one of the symbolisms when you give a rock or a crystal to somebody, some of the things are grounding and stability, emotional strength, support and connection. So for me, it felt like hold on to this rock. It's strength. Whenever you feel pain, just
hold on to it.
And that I'm also here. So you're safe. Don't worry about it. And this is the conversation Assad has with Randy Lynn about you don't have much time, and you pointed this out to me. He sends the guard off to get some stuff for the delivery, and in it is a pen and paper. And that's when she writes the letter.
Right. She sees like the pen or
Right. And I
whatever
didn't even
it
notice
is.
that.
Yeah.
And you pointed that
and
out.
she's kind of like, huh, and
Right.
that's when,
Yeah.
we don't see her write the letter, but
Right.
she kind of, a light bulb goes off for her.
And
so
this-
that's like the first time we see the rock that you were talking about.
Right.
The symbolism. Yeah.
And some of the other ones that I had was the ones that you pointed out, but I'll go over them. Go ahead and give a couple.
You want
more.
another one? Okay. I really liked the scene in Steve's office. So we find out that Steve is in a clandestine.
Yes, his little office with one window.
Clandestine, right? So I just thought that all worked. So in the office, you have Shane, Oliver, and Rita, right? And they're talking to Steve, and they're talking about Randy Lynn, the missing in action, and they're trying to convince him that they need to find her. I'm kind of fumbling through this. I don't know. They, so then he mentions, we and in her letter, and they're like, letter?
Yeah.
That's where they perk up.
That's when they perk up, right? There's a letter.
Like, letter? There's a letter. So then, Rita tries to get a look at the letter, and he's like, no. I mean, I just thought that whole scene, works. And he's like, I can't show her the letter. She can't see it. And then, Oliver says, well, the letter technically is addressed to FEBB. And we could say that that's Phoebe and that's her daughter. So it's technically doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the United States Post Office.
I know. That was so funny. It
is. And then you love the play here because the audience and Shane and Oliver know that Rita has a photographic memory.
Yes.
But Steve doesn't know.
Right.
So just a quick glance for Rita is enough to learn what's in the letter.
Isn't that crazy?
I thought that whole scene worked.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite scenes was when Rita, they were doing the rehearsal for the tap dance scene.
Yes.
And she is so off.
Yes.
From
I have this down.
else.
That's my next one.
And
yes.
Norman being, such a gentleman. When they stop, the
so
choreographer is looking at Rita like, what in the world? And then Norm goes, well, you did great because everybody else was off.
Yeah, he says, everyone else is out of step but you. I thought that was so cute. Oh my gosh, that was so cute. And she's like, she's just so...
He's a man after my own heart.
Yes. That was so nice.
So that was another one of mine. Do you have another one?
For me, I would say the scene between Shane and Steve when they're outside. Steve is trying to convince Shane that he's now made DC his home, and that's where he is all the time. And she says, "Home is more than an address; it's a porch swing."
Yes.
And she goes on to other things. She says other things, but I thought, and he's like, "I'll buy you a porch swing," and she's like, "I already have one."
I know.
Like, dude. And that was so she's like telling you without telling you that she's into Oliver, and then that's the scene where he comes out.
Yes.
Now, did he see them kiss or not? I don't know.
Well, the scene
we'll
cuts
have to ask
so
the Postables. I don't. Right.
He's already through the door and probably 10 feet out of
so
the
you
door.
don't think he walked out?
I don't know
after
if he
the kiss,
saw it,
right.
but you just have to assume maybe
he did. Yeah, I don't know.
But he took it like a man.
Yeah, he took it like a champ. Yeah, if he did.
Yeah, and I like that whole scene too, where they were supposed to have lunch together, all of them, but one by one they kept dropping off. So it just ended up being Norm and Oliver. And so Shane comes walking up, and she's in this orange outfit, and Oliver's like googly eyes over.
Yes.
And Shane's smiling, and he stands up, and then here comes Steve.
Steve, that was when we first see
comes
Steve.
In,
that was before.
Picks her up, give her a big hug.
Right.
And you see Oliver, he goes to sit down, but then he stands up again, and then he goes to sit down, and he stands up again. It's like
that was
he doesn't
before
know
the
what
scene
to do.
I talked about.
Yes. I just
that was funny when he stands, he sits. He stands.
Yep, it's like he doesn't know what to do with himself.
Oliver's so good.
Oliver's such a great character.
Oh gosh, because he's trying to be polite, but he's still a little jealous, and he's,
and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was a good scene.
Yeah.
The whole, for me, the whole Norman Rita exchange during the Miss Special Delivery pageant, where Norman has been trying to give her something the entire movie, right? And then we finally get to the talent part of the pageant, which is towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
And, he finally gives her the gift, and he's just so excited to give it to her. Finally thinks she's going to be so happy. And he's had like a chapter of her book published in the Postal. What was it? The Postal magazine, whatever. The name of it is escaping
The
me right now.
Postal Living Quarterly.
The Postal Living Quarterly. And he's so excited. And she's like, I can't recite it now because in the talent show, you can't use anything that's published and paid, right? And she's like, and now I'm published and paid. And she's upset, but she's Rita upset, you know, like I like to call it. She's not like, I mean, she's upset visibly and she doesn't know what she's going to do. And then she goes out on stage to help her friend, Mindy, who is struggling a little bit, right?
Right.
So she's only upset for a minute because she sees Mindy struggling and that's her. She wants to help. She wants to go out.
Right.
And so she goes, I'll go first while Mindy, whatever. So she starts speaking to the crowd and she tells them what she was going to do. She was going to do a dramatic reading, but she can't. Yeah. And then as she's telling the story about her story, she realizes it relates to Norman. Yeah. Norm. You go, Norman. She realized that it relates to him. And then she's like, in my story, she's really in love with her. And then she's like, oh. And then you see the light bulb go off.
And she turns off stage.
And she's like, he's in love with her. And he questions and he shakes
his head real fast. Like,
giddy over there. It was so good.
And she was like,
he's tearing up, so well done. Yeah. So well done.
Well, it's funny because Ramon had told Norman.
We haven't even talked about Ramon. He's in my too. Yeah.
Or told Norman that Rita, she wins. She's going to be off for a year, shaking hands, meeting new people.
Yeah, she'd have to do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, he kind of put in Norman's head that Rita wasn't coming back. She was going to forget all about her.
That's right.
So that's why he printed out that one section, I think it was chapter 14 of her book, because he didn't want her to forget about them.
Right. Well, he says, I don't want you to forget that you're a writer and a postable. And then, it was so sweet. You're right.
And then that's when Rita... Chapter 14 was about the character, Norman, the character in the book, gives her character a steed, and knowing that no matter where she went, that steed would always find its way back home.
Right. And she says something like, I wondered why mystical Norman would give her a steed, right? And then that's when she realizes, that he's in love with her, and then she says it out loud.
How cool was that piece of writing?
It was so good. I like when Norman says, "Are we having our first fight?" Because he's just so. Oh my gosh! Man. Yes. Do you have any other scenes listed? What you got? I got a couple more.
Can we say something about Mindy's pipes?
Oh, yeah. God. Oh, the way she said that was my next favorite scene.
Oh man.
So she sings it beautifully, right? And first of all, perfect song, perfect title. The lyrics were absolute perfection for this. I mean, it was just perfect for the movie, for that moment. Right. For what the Postables are doing, just all of it. Right. Perfect. If you don't know the lyrics to that song, go look it up. Yes. Because I mean, I don't even know what to say about it except, and then so she's singing, and then you have scenes back and forth between her singing. You see Shane and Oliver crying. Right. Because they don't know if a rescue is happening or not of the lieutenant. They've given all the information to the committee by that point, and the committee has to make a decision, and they don't. And they know at that point that the rescue is going up. They don't know if she's alive or not. And so the song is so emotional, I guess, right? And so they're going back, and then they're also showing Afghanistan scenes. Right. So I mean, the weaving of that,
the lyrics and the scenes that go along
with it, it's just brilliant. It's so good. Brilliant, man. Oh my gosh. I know. We're tearing up and goosebumps and all the things in that scene.
I know. And then she hits that last note. And holds it. Yeah. And then when she stops, the look on Ramon's face was like,
even he was yes, like, he was, wow. And he was kind of tearing. I mean, it was so moving, so moving.
It was crazy moving.
Yeah. But wait, the movie's not over yet after you're emotionally crushed. You know?
I know.
All right. So what else you got? For any more favorite scenes?
I do. Do you want to talk about, well, you go ahead.
All right.
Because
I have, okay. So then Harper and Phoebe, they go to, is it the next day? Maybe the next morning?
I think
it's the same day. I'm not sure. But anyway, so we see Harper and Phoebe are going to the airport and they don't know why. And Steve is there. The Postables are there. Right. They're all there. And Harper, because they don't want to tell Harper and Phoebe anything. They didn't want to give them false hope. Right. So they say they're there to fly on the what do they call it? The jet or whatever, to give them a chance to fly on the jet. And then
that's when Steve comes up.
That's when Steve, right.
And he's talking to Harper and Phoebe, and he's like, look what the Army Rangers are flying around the country in now. And then out comes who? The mom. The mom.
You're like tearing up.
I can't.
I know. I know you can't talk about it. Yeah. So then we see Randy Lynn, or
she comes walking.
Like, he's like tearing up. I wish we had video. He's tearing up. Yeah. So she comes out of the plane. She comes down, and then the daughter Phoebe goes up to her, and that little actress, I'm telling you, the tears. That was like, I don't know how she did that in that moment. It was so good.
I mean, it had been
the actress who plays the lieutenant's daughter Phoebe goes up, and she's just crying and crying, and it's so emotional.
And it was like real. And then you see
for real. Yeah.
You see Shane and Oliver. They're all hugging and kind of tearing up, and you see Rita and Norman hugging and tearing up.
They hug,
and she lets go of the rock. She's hugging Phoebe. She's hugging her grandfather, and that's the last time you see the rock. And it's like, she lets the rock go because now she really has her rock, which is her family.
Right.
And I thought that was really, really good.
Powerful. Yes. Really super powerful. And I guess we didn't talk about when she's escaping during the song.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring, or
that's another time when she, well, Assad gives her the rock before he tells her, I can't go any further with you. Wait here 2 days. If I don't show up, you have to walk.
Yes.
And one night she squeezes the rock. And again, the symbolism of all this, the emotional strength, she's not giving up. She's going to keep going. And, she falls down the hill. She hurts her leg. She bandages it up. And she just keeps on going. She's got the strength.
And it's for a couple days. Like a couple days and nights. She's by herself.
And they show her squeezing the rock. And that was the third time that we see the rock. And I found it pretty cool. They call her Soul Sister.
Soul Sister. Yes, that was her code name, right? That's their code name for her.
For picking her up.
I thought that was cool.
And that whole scene when she sees those helicopters coming over the mountains to pick her up.
And they're playing America the Beautiful, right? Because she sang that to her daughter. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about.
Yes. I mean, I couldn't. I know.
I know.
So,
but you're right. That was.
Was there anything else? Did you have any more?
Just the last scene. They're headed to the airport, and Oliver says, "We have an extra stop."
Oh, yes.
And then they go to, and we didn't even talk about Shane's house. She went to see her house in D.C. that she grew up in, and they had torn it down, or it wasn't there anymore. And that was emotional for Shane. That was at the very beginning of the movie. And then at the end, Oliver has this inheritance from his biological father, and he has created a foundation.
Yes.
And he surprises Shane.
Yes.
With the McInerney Home for Retired Postal Workers.
Aww.
And she's like, it'll be a small house. And he's like, we can make it bigger.
We can make it bigger.
And then he says, does he say something about a porch and a swing?
Yes.
Like, doesn't he say something
and it'll
like,
have a porch and a swing.
It'll have a porch and a swing. And I was like, oh.
And then Norman goes, do we all have to move here? With his crazy expressions. I love him so much.
And then he says, can I have a workship or a laboratory here?
And he says something about some kind of atom smasher thing. And she's like, no, Norman, you can't have that.
And Shane she's just really, really touched. And it was just a really great last scene, right? Like, it just wrapped it all up.
And what put the cherry on top of that one is Oliver pulling out the rose to give to her. Because she had told him when they first got there at the beginning of the movie that her mom cut the last rose of summer.
Right.
And kept it fresh and then planted it for the first rose of summer. And he did the exact same thing for her. So she was like,
like her heart.
He is the man, you know? And I don't know. It was just brilliantly written.
It really was. It really, really was. I mean, we could talk about every scene in detail. All right. Biggest cheers?
I just love how Oliver gives those pep talks.
Yes, I have that as one of my cheers.
And not just Norm, but to the whole crew. He just picks them up.
Yes.
And I mean, he's got these little
like one-liners.
And, God brought us here to do a lot of little things.
Yes.
Or we went through a lot of little things to get here. It's not just about the big picture. And when Norm was talking about, why do we care about the little umbrellas in the drinks or the little, animals in the drinks? And Oliver was pretty much like, we're not forgetting the big picture, but it's the little ones that keep us going.
Those are the two exact things that I have as my cheer. I was saying we need a section of Oliver quotes.
We do.
Quotes of wisdom.
You know what? We're going to
because
start
the quote that you're talking about was something like, because Norman is like, everything else is so trivial.
Right.
We need to get, the lieutenant home. Like
Yes.
everything else seems so trivial. And that's when Oliver says that the Miss Delivery pageant is perhaps not an event of great import to the world at large, but the world is complicated and so much of it can be ugly. That's why it is beautiful, and that's why what is beautiful and gentle is worth fighting to preserve.
Yes.
And also why we honor those who fight. And that's so significant because you do feel like, oh, I shouldn't be enjoying this, but you should.
But you should be.
It's okay
Yes.
if other stuff is going on, in the world or in your life, or it's okay to enjoy the smaller moments, the things that seem trivial.
Right.
I mean, yeah, in the big picture, but you have to enjoy it. And he also says, and that's why we honor those who fight.
Yeah.
That's how we honor those who
Yes.
fight, is enjoying our freedom, enjoying the special things, enjoying the happy moments. And then the other quote that you were talking about is, he said to Shane, I think we were called to be a part of a lot of little miracles
Yes.
that had to happen to get this far.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah. I wrote those down as my cheer
Brilliant.
too. Yeah, we're on the same page, but we need a section that's like Oliver quotes, and then
Yes.
our podcast will be 2 hours long.
I know.
Because we will
I know. I know. It's hard.
But no,
It's
I had
hard.
that same thing.
So, did you have any other cheers?
Cheers. We've already talked about it. The storytelling, the
Yes.
way each one of the Postables has a turn in the hearing.
Yes.
Oliver starts. He's followed by Shane, and they each give their part of the story. Then Rita, then Norman.
Right.
Each
Each
part
give
of their
their
story.
part.
And I won't go into detail because I know we're.
Right.
I loved the running parallel storylines of Norma and Rita and Shane and Oliver.
Yes.
Because like you said, they were supposed to all have lunch together, and then things happen and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman and Rita are supposed to go to dinner together, and Shane and Oliver separately are supposed to go to dinner together, and that doesn't
didn't
happen.
Yeah.
And they both, like Norman's a little jealous of Ramon,
Right.
and Oliver's a little jealous of Steve.
Yes.
It was like a parallel
Yep.
universe.
And that's what's so brilliant
that
about
was
this.
yes. What about you? Any other?
I'm just glad. So they closed 2 chapters. So they closed Shane and Steve.
We think
We think.
we don't.
We haven't seen the rest of them.
Right.
And
But it's a pretty good. You get an indication of where Shane's
and
mind
then
is.
Oliver got to have closure by going over to the Postal Museum at the Pony Express
Oh,
exhibit,
yes,
where
yes,
his
we did-
ex-wife
see, we
actually left him.
right.
And that's a story where Harper met up with him, is like, what are you doing? And then he tells him the story about Randy Lynn falling off the bed. And
Yes.
she couldn't explain to her grandpa or her dad what happened. So she went on the bed and fell
Fell
off
off again.
which is ironic because she fell out of the helicopter. So that's kind of
Well, and he said, but Harper says that she always wanted to go back to the place and figure it out
Right,
why it happened. Like
right.
she wanted to make sense of it.
yes.
Yes. So that was,
And
but yes, it was part of the clue
right.
that, yeah.
Which that whole letter was
As a clue. I had Ramon as a reporter. We could just leave it at that, and
Yes.
everybody can just having him back was great.
Another
and
job.
Yeah. And then, the cheers too, the clues.
Yes.
And you get them throughout the movie. You don't know what's in the letter yet, but you get them throughout the movie, and then the piecing of them together, like you mentioned, the 4 posters.
Mhm.
I don't think I have something about, like, at first they think it's something about the 4th of July, something about 4 posters, grim feet, and like a Bible verse, right? So
Right.
they're trying to piece all that together. And like you said, just how then you find out the 4 poster
Yeah.
means the 4 poster bed. She fell off of it. That's where she fell out of the helicopter, right? 4th of July actually referred to the dog
dog's birthday,
Liberty, right? And the
Yep.
dog's birthday, which
Right. Was the 21st.
21st.
Mhm.
So that was the day she was going to escape, right?
Yes.
Or right. So even if we get these wrong too. So, and that was sort of Norman's part. He pieced all the clues together in that committee meeting,
Right.
right? So then what are some of the other ones? The Ramadan is observed with prayer, acts of charity, and fasting. So he is suggesting that she's choosing to escape on the day of fasting, right? The last day of Ramadan and fasting.
And that the 4 post was where she had been captured.
Yes.
And so
the 4 posts because she fell off the bed,
right?
And then fell out.
She fell out of the helicopter.
Yeah.
So
and then
brilliant.
The grim feet meant pilgrim feet, which is actually part of America the Beautiful, which I did not know.
No, me either.
I don't know that whole song, but boy, and who sang that? Was that Josh Groban? I meant to look that up. Who sang the rendition? So there were beautiful songs in this one too. Oh,
yes.
Good grief. Do you have any more cheers?
No.
Let me see.
But I do have...
The whole thing is a cheer.
Yeah. Well, I do have a jeer.
Okay. What's your jeer?
I just feel like that whole committee, how they look down on the Postables, especially when she was like, okay, Task Force DLO, is it the CIA, FBI, or NSS? And Oliver goes, USPS.
USPS, yeah.
And she's like, what? She goes, we're with the post office.
Well, that was...
And the look on her face was like, are you serious?
What are you doing here?
Why do you even care about this? And my other thing is, I don't like how Steve thought he could just go up there and kiss Shane. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. You just got a little problem with that. Steve take a little liberty with that, huh?
There could have been something with him and,
Yeah.
But it wasn't really a jeer, but if it was a jeer, that would have been a jeer.
That would have been your jeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Mine would have been the committee chairwoman asking why would the lieutenant send a letter in code?
Yeah, encrypted. Yeah.
Like give clues. Yeah. Like why would she do hello? Like what do you mean why would she do that? So that she wouldn't get captured,
Or the people that were helping her wouldn't get
that's true.
In trouble
and
what
do you I mean, I just thought I was like, okay. That probably, I mean, I don't know. With somebody.
Like, come on, you're a politician. You should know why.
Maybe that's why. Politicians aren't,
And didn't the senator say this is why? And
yes. Yes, the one senator from Illinois or whatever.
She didn't want to get anybody else in trouble.
Yeah.
Especially Assad. So, yeah. So that was it for me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, there's we could go over more quotes and, when Oliver's like the few, the proud, the Postables.
Oh,
and
that was good.
Doesn't he say something about, I still stand by, like, post office is the best way to, he says something to Steve about that.
Yeah, because who was it that said, oh, they have postal service in Afghanistan? And then Oliver was like,
that's what it was.
As a matter of fact, they have one of the better ones.
The best ones, right? Yeah.
And it's routed out of Kabul or something. I don't know. And that's when he said, I still stand by. This is the best way.
This is the best. Yeah. I've always maintained that mail is still the gold standard of human communication. That's what I knew I'd find it eventually.
Yes. 100.
I still maintain that mail is the gold standard.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So out of 5 corks, what would you give this one?
10.
I'm not talking about how many pages you printed out. I'm talking about corks.
How many pages of notes did you have? 100. 100.
There was a lot.
I would definitely give it a 5. I mean, I would be shocked if I gave any signed, sealed, delivered movie less than a 5. And we're trying to keep 5 exclusive, but I can't help it because the story is so intricate and so intertwined with their lives and the letter. And this one especially was like a 2-parter kind of,
Yeah.
So I would give it a 5. How about you?
I'm definitely giving it a 5.
Word.
I just, the emotions, the goosebumps, the tears throughout the whole show. And again, Oliver, actually all the cast members, they can just make you cry with just the look.
And Oliver was so great in this one too. And Norman with their anger, but not saying anything. Their face showed it, and then they're softening. And then Oliver was so proud when he did for Shane, the house, that. So yeah, it's all good. It's all really good.
Tearjerker. So is that a wrap?
That is a wrap.
Well, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss one. Also, check us out on social media or send us an email to pourthewineitsromcomtime@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, drop us a line. Let us know what you think. Talk to us on social media.
And if
we'll chat back.
And if we missed something in this one, just
it's not on purpose.
It's not on purpose.
I have a lot of pages of notes. I can't just do them all.
And like we said, this thing would be over an hour long.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Until next time, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.